Carrie, just the first name makes you sound relatable. So I am here with Carrie Stahl, 210 Financial. We got connected recently. We have several mutual connections, but really excited to meet you and find out about what 210 does here in the Morton and Central Illinois area. So when we talk about starting a business or building a successful business, we always talk about building your team and surrounding yourself with people who are experts in their area of expertise. And that way you can go to them and you can ask them for their knowledge that they've spent their career gaining rather than having to learn it all yourself. So I asked Carrie to come on and chat with me a little bit about financial planning, retirement planning. When you work for a 9 to 5, a lot of times there's a 401k included in the benefits package. And so one of the big questions for female entrepreneurs is, what do I do for retirement planning after I step away from that, traditional 401k opportunity of saving? So I hope we can plant some seeds here and I can introduce you to Carrie and you'll have a familiar face to go to when you have more questions. So Carrie, thank you so much for being here with me.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited. And I'm so excited for what you're doing in our community. It's just beyond fun. I love it.
Thank you so much. It's fun. It's like, I can't believe I get to wake up and do this, encourage our teammates.
Yeah. It's just not work. It's you wake up and you're excited about the future and excited about what you're doing. And it's a passion. And anybody who comes across you in that, you can tell. So super fun to be a part of it and really excited for your event that you're hosting.
Thank you. And likewise, I can feel the passion for what you do. So let's dive into it. Let's just do an intro first. So give us the Carrie 101. Tell us a little bit about who you are.
So I'm a wife, a mom to 2 cute little boys, Kai and Cash. I am a business owner, like you said. I own 210 Financial with my parents. And we also have a real estate company that we kind of venture into the rental property world. And we also have a farm. So we kind of have our hand in a little bit of everything. I love an iced coffee. Sour Patch Kids are my favorite candy in the whole wide world. And I'm always looking to book a trip somewhere. So that's me.
It's so funny because I know that you've got 2 coming up. So
yeah. I'm always like, I've got 1 on the books or 2 on the books. And I'm always like, okay, when's the next one? When's the next one? And my husband is the complete opposite. He never wants to leave. So it's a good balance in there.
I could take a page from your book. So tell us a little bit more about 210 Financial.
Yeah, 210 Financial's, in my opinion, super special. So go to 210financial.com and watch our video right on our main page. It kind of explains why we need a 210 Financial and what that looks like. So we've been in business for 20 years. My parents started the company 20 years ago, and I've partnered with them, my husband and I, alongside them to kind of grow it into what it is today. We really focus on getting people to and through retirement. So we have a proprietary process called a retirement blueprint process. So we really focus on building plans for people that they cannot outlive. So for instance, if a spouse passes away and you don't really know what to do in that time of need, our goal is for you to be able to pick up the plan and just know, I know exactly what to do. I know exactly where everything is, and I know exactly who to go to, who to call, and it's all taken care of. And so yes, a part of that is investments and money and, life insurance and estate planning and healthcare and all the aspects that cover it. But we really like to focus on putting that into a plan. And it's not, we've talked before, I don't like to do it as like a transactional business. It's not just like one sale here or one sale here. If we're doing business with somebody, we really feel like we're entering into a mutual agreement, like a relationship. Like you're agreeing to have a relationship with me. I'm agreeing to have a relationship with you. And this is ongoing. And so that's a little bit about 210 Financial and who we are. And we love the relationship world. We love doing doing life with our clients, I should say. So a little bit different than just the maybe like the wealth managers or just maybe buying a life insurance policy here, buying an annuity there. We really want to sit down and do life all the way through with people.
That's awesome. I would say that sounds very different from the financial planning meetings that I've had and financial planning that I've heard the way it works about other companies as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. And that's, it all stemmed from both of my parents kind of, um, single moms, and seeing that struggle, and seeing that how incredible a single mom is, and how they provide and what they do. And then just coming alongside people, whether that be the single mom, or whether that be the cat executive, or whether that be wherever they are in life, coming alongside and meeting people where they are.
That's awesome. So I know 210 has a really awesome culture. Can you tell me a little more about that?
Yeah, so the culture at 210 Financial is probably what I am most proud about. We, over the years, have grown, and it's been so exciting and super fun. And with growth comes hiring new people, which is always super scary for a business owner. One, because of the expense. You are stepping out on a leap of faith. You're hiring somebody who, I mean, we all know as entrepreneurs or business owners, we all think we can do it as best as we possibly can. And so we don't think anybody else can help us or do it our way or something. So it's a scary leap of faith. But I've always tried to hire somebody based off of a cultural fit, and maybe not so much a qualified fit. And that's not saying that my employees here aren't qualified. They're more than qualified. They're incredible. But sometimes you'll have, if you're looking at a paper resume, you're going to say, okay, this person is way more qualified than this person, but this person will not fit in. They won't they won't understand the dynamic of 210 Financial. They're not a good cultural fit. And so we've always kind of gone towards the side of, I can teach people what I need them to do, but I can't teach them how to fit into the culture of, we do life with our clients every single day. Like we have we have a client in the office today. We're helping her set up her cell phone. I mean, it's those types of things that you not can't necessarily teach people. And so we're looking for that heart, and we're looking for the kindness and giving back and the love and the nurturing that you'd want someone to treat your mom and dad. You'd want someone to treat your grandma, or you just would want to be treated that way as well. So we really pride ourselves in building this type of culture. We call it our 210 family. We don't really like to, I mean, it's a team and it's a workplace, but it's really more of a family. And so it's really special dynamic, and it's really, some of the qualities that we look for are, someone who's humble and someone who's a team player, because we have anyone from an advisor role to administrative role. And so we don't want someone who comes in and says, well, I'm an advisor, I can't help you with this. That's not my job. No, we want someone who comes in and says, oh, I see you're putting stamps on, 1,200 postcards. Let me help you. I have some free time, things like that.
Yeah, it's those tiny minor things that make a world of difference. I'm sure for you, working in this 210 family and having the motivation to come to work and enjoying it while you're there, but then your customers can feel that too.
Yeah, 100%.
It's a thing.
100%. And one of the things it's kind of funny, but we always have lunch together every single day. And that's like a core value of 210 Financial, is because we stop what we're doing. We have lunch together as a team. And the reason we do that is because we want to know what's going on in each other's lives. We want to get to know, each other on a more personal level. And also, I mean, it's nice to have a break and just talk with a friend every now and then. So every day we have lunch together. It may not be, we try to do, there may be 3 people, it may be, all 10, but we try, whoever is available, we have lunch every single day. And that is just like the best part of the day.
That is so cool. It really is a family.
It really is. Yeah.
So what would you say if there's a female who knows she probably needs to get her, financial situation in order, and she maybe feels a little bit vulnerable, doesn't know what to ask, doesn't know the right words to use?
Yeah.
What would you say to her about coming in? How should she start the conversation, or that first point of contact?
Yeah. Well, the first thing is that you're not the first person that's done this. and you won't be the last. And that's not saying that you're not different, because you are 100% different. And who you are is what makes you different. But there is someone out there who has paved a way in a space probably, if not identical, similar to yours. And so first of all, there's people out there, especially women entrepreneurs, who want to help. It's just a matter of connecting with the right people and getting that involved there. So one, I think everyone is hesitant, but I think once you just kind of like open that door, you will realize how helpful people truly are. In regards to the finance thing, honestly, I mean, there's kind of this preconceived notion that, you've got to know everything. You've got to have this whole, you got to have a P&L, and you've got to have this, and you've got to have your accountant all, taken care of, and you've got to have this book put together of everything. Well, if you're starting a business, you're not going to know, and that's okay. So you need to be alongside someone saying, hey, I don't even know what the first step is. Can you tell me? And that's okay. And coming in and being vulnerable enough to say, okay, here's my business. Here's what it is, and here's what I have. And I don't know the right questions to ask. I don't know the right terminology to even say to steer you in the direction, but here's the things that we need to know. We need to know your dreams. We need to know your goals, and we need to know what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Because if we don't know those things, then we can't do anything to help you, because you're going to have a business, and that's great. But if you don't want to build a business that runs you. You want to build a business that you run it. And so, or it runs itself, eventually, where you can be home with those kiddos, 5 days a week, and work, when you want to work. Or if you want to work 5 days a week and put your kids in daycare, then that's the plan. But we have to know what your dreams are. We have to know what your goals are, and we have to know what kind of lifestyle you want to live. Otherwise, we can't help guide you. And the other stuff just comes in, the terminology and the questions. I feel like we do a great job of prompting. Like I'm going to brag on our team a little bit here, but they do a really great job. I feel like they've been in that position, and, most of them have been there. And so they kind of can relate to you on that level and say, okay, here's where we're going to start. And when we're done with this, here's where we're going to go. And then when we're done with this, here's where we're going to go. So we're going to make a roadmap.
That's so good. And that is so much easier, what you said about dreams and what you want. That's so much easier than thinking that you have to have this profit and loss statement to show up. You've got to have all of these papers, right? In our minds, we have to check all of these boxes, and that's really not the case. It starts with a conversation.
So true. And 9 times out of 10, the entrepreneur is that visionary. They don't have the tactical things. They just know, hey, I've got this idea, and I know how to do it, and I know what I want to do, but I don't know anything else. And that's where you build a team alongside you to say, hey, you lead us, and we'll pick up the pieces behind you, or, we'll lay that path for you so your vision can be executed.
I love that. And I know we talked about this earlier, but I can still just feel that cultural piece of 210.
Yeah. And it is something I hold on to so special. It's because not me, my team, my family, we've worked so hard to create it. And so keeping it is so special, and hiring is terrifying, because you need to take that step. And at the same time, you're like, okay, this might take 3 times as long to find the right person, but we're committed to waiting. And because it's too unique to disrupt, and that's like a big passion of mine. And I would love to talk to anybody about how to create that team and how to set up those processes and things, because it makes the world of difference. It really does.
Well, we're going to have to schedule another chat another time, because that is so good to be led in that direction about how do you do that.
And the same thing applies to one employee as it does to, 30, 40, 50, 60. It's the same dynamic. It's the same foundation. If you want to go to a house analogy, if you don't have a sturdy foundation, your house isn't going to be standing. Like, you have to have that strong foundation. So you have to figure out what your core beliefs are and what you're looking for, and build your own personal foundation before you can go build up those walls and that roof with your employees and your team.
My friend Nick and I were just talking about this, and he, the owner CEO of Patagonia, said their culture is so neat inside, and people would come to him and say, how did you build this culture? Tell me, like, give me the steps. And so he's just like, I can tell you, but you're not going to be able to do it, because you have to start it from the beginning, and it has to be authentic to you.
Oh, true.
And it sounds like you have tapped into that at 210. I love that.
Yeah.
So tell me, what's something you wish female business owners knew about managing their future financially?
So a couple of things is, there's statistics to show that 80% of women die single and 80% of men die married. And now, granted, whether you're married, single, whatever, wherever you take, you usually have someone in your life that you depend on, whether that be a spouse, a friend, whoever it may be. So my number one thing is to make sure, one, yes, it's incredible to have someone in your life to depend on and to help you with that situation, but be in charge of your financial situation. Never, ever, ever give up the keys or the pen to your checkbook. Always be the one in charge of the finances, because if you know your numbers and if you know your finances, that is where the true the gem hides within your business. You're going to know your ROI, you're going to know your P&L, and as boring as those things may sound, that's how you run an incredible business. And that's what, even if you don't want to scale your business, that's totally fine. Okay, how can we get the most profitability out of your business? And you have to know those numbers. And if somebody else is doing it for you, you're not going to know them. And so keep a hold. You don't have to do that every day. You don't have to write the paychecks. You don't have to do the accounting, but you need to at least have a monthly meeting and say, okay, here's what's going on. I know this, I know that, and move forward. You do not have to, like I said, you don't have to do the daily, the nitty gritty, but you need to have a hold of it, and you need to be the one in charge when at the end of the day.
Yeah, I love that, because one of our goals at Founding Females is to help women use their businesses to become financially independent.
Yes.
And you hear horror stories of people, I won't say always women, but people, their spouse dies and they don't even know where they bank.
Yeah.
They don't even know where they bank. They don't know where their money is. And it's just, it's so empowering to know what that financial outlook looks like, not to mention making decisions in your business. We can't just make decisions for today. We have to make decisions for years to come.
It's so true. And that's a big part of who we are as a company, is that we've realized, being in business over the years, is we would have widows and widowers. I mean, we would have both, but we would have them come and they would say, okay, my husband has died, my wife has died, whoever it may be. Am I going to be okay? Like, I don't know. I don't know my bank information. I don't know where my bills get paid. I don't know if I have a car payment. I don't know if I have a house payment. Like, how do I pay taxes?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was very eye-opening for us. And so we have a tab on our website you can go look at, but we are really, really focused, on female focused financing, and really educating the females in this world. Because there is that stereotype, whether it's right, whether it's wrong, that women, it's a little bit of that baby boomer generation. The man takes over the accounts, and the woman, stays home, and things are changing. It's not that way anymore. But we are really educating people on, hey, here's what's going on. You're the one in charge. And honestly, I mean, women are living longer than a man. And so, when you call it the women and the man to bear, whatever you want to call it, is you need to be educated. You need to know what's going on, and you need to be the one, whether you're in a relationship or you're single, you need to be in charge.
Yeah. You bring up a good point, Carrie, because I heard once that 401ks a lot of times are predicted or planned for based on the lifespan of a man. And you're saying that women are outliving their husbands. So,
Yeah.
right, he may be financially secure for his lifetime, but what about her?
Yeah, and I don't know the exact statistic, but it's somewhere along the lines of like 5 to 7 years a woman outlives a man or something along those lines. And so, I mean, and you drive around everywhere in Central Illinois, there is a retirement center or a nursing home going up on every corner. People are living longer. And so, what is that plan to get you not only to retirement, but through retirement? What's that legacy that you want to leave your kids and your grandkids or your charity that you work with or an organization? Like, where are you and what are you doing to get you to that point where you not only leave a lasting mark here on this earth, but for generations to come?
Yeah, how are you going to vote with your money after you're
Yeah, so true.
gone? I love it, Carrie. Well, I feel like we could have so much more to talk about. So we
Correct.
will move back and talk about the employee piece that you mentioned earlier. But thank you so much for joining. I feel like this was a really good seed planting experience for women who and men maybe who need to hear this conversation and say, okay, it's time to take that step forward.
So true. And I loved being a part of it. And I'm super excited, like I said, just for the future of founding females and everything to come with it.
Well, thank you for your support of females in our community, and we will chat with you soon.
See ya.
Thanks.